All right, cool. Let's do this, huh?
All right.
All right. So, hey, welcome to the Sustainiacs. I'm Mike Vincent. He's Bruce Bennett. Yeah. Sorry, man. I didn't want to.
It's all good.
He's Bruce Bennett. We are the Sustainiacs. That's why I said that before. But I don't know, episode 7,000 or something. It's 7. It's episode 7, but we can't.
7-ish.
7-ish. We hack them up and do a bunch of different stuff, right?
Yep, that's
hey,
right.
It only took us 7 episodes, and we actually got a fan, dude.
I'm stunned.
Yeah, it's amazing what people will listen to, but let's not make fun of him too much because he is our fan.
Yeah, if he's listening to us, we're happy.
Absolutely, and what he said is he said this is gold for us guitar geeks. He said he's watched every video, he loves his stuff, and one of the things that I've been putting out there is really that we're going to talk about everything and teach everybody everything they need to know about guitars, except how to play them.
Yeah, yeah, right? Perfect. Yeah,
we're not going to teach you the cage.
That's how I got into Lutherie. I realized I wasn't that good a player.
Yes. There you go, right? Yeah, I'm going to be a sound guy or something like that. But you love the guitar. You picked it up and you did it, right? I mean, that's what from the very beginning, too, right?
I did it for 2 reasons. Number one, I couldn't afford to buy a guitar. They were too expensive.
Yeah.
And number two, I've always been a mechanical type person, very good with my hands.
Yeah.
So, just, let's try to build a thing if we can't buy one,
Hey, what do you want to feature? We featured the Warrior last week. Let's feature something here in the shop.
Let's feature the little hammer.
The hammer, yeah. Oh yeah, this just got done.
Just got that one done. It's now up on reverb.
Drop it. Yeah, look at this baby here. Look at it.
Cute little guitar. Great playing guitar. Really, seriously, this one plays phenomenal.
Beautiful. And you were telling me one of the hardest things was to get the gold toggle.
They're hard to find. I mean, right now, I guess they're all sitting on a boat in the harbor. We had a hard time getting that gold toggle switch.
This thing is in remarkably great shape, too.
For its age, yeah.
Yeah. How old is this?
This is probably early 90s.
Okay.
This is a Generation 2.
And I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah, and it's got sweet action.
Yeah, it does.
And it's got a fresh set of EMG gold top pickups on it with the EMG system. Plug-and-play system.
Straight up, no push-pull.
Yep. It's got a EMG 81 and an 85 in it, so it's what some folks will call the Zach Wild set.
Mm-hmm.
But great little guitar.
Action on this is beautiful, dude.
Yeah. Got a little bit of a chunky neck.
Yeah, but
it feels good. I
like it. I don't have big hands. I kind of like it. I think it feels good. I think it feels great. So this is up now on reverb?
It is on reverb on Hot Rod's Guitar shop, and I think we've got $4.99 on it.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah, check it out, man. It's good stuff, and check out the other stuff he's got there. What you're seeing here is his stuff, and there's plenty more behind the camera as well. So check it out. It's all awesome stuff that he's doing over here, and from the master.
And in the coming weeks,
himself.
we'll be.
Let's get on with this. Who's our fan and what does he want to talk about? Do you have it pulled up there? Because I couldn't get it on my phone.
Chris Longnecker.
Chris Longnecker.
Apparently he's asking, and I'll just read what he said.
Yeah, sure.
Can Bruce talk about scale lengths, specifically the difference between Fender and Gibson? I have played both, started on a Strat, then played Gibson style for many years, and now thanks to Hot Rod's guitars and the guitar that I bought, which was a Lion by Washburn, Strat style guitar, I'm finding that I love the Fender style neck. As far as scale length goes, Gibson has traditionally, for most of their electrics, has been 24 3/4 of an inch from the nut to the saddle.
That's what that measurement is.
Yeah,
it's from the nut to the saddle.
It is what we call the speaking length of the string. There's nothing that's the last point where the string is actually being touched by the guitar. Going over the fretboard.
From one to the other. That's the speaking length.
Speaking
what
length
it's trying to pick up the vibrating part that you want to get.
That's
out
correct.
Of it. Yeah. Gotcha.
So obviously, there's many different scale lengths.
Mm-hmm.
You can have guitars built to pretty much any scale length you want.
Sure.
Gibson has traditionally always been at that 24 3/4, but they've got several models that change a little here and there, especially in their acoustics. Fender has almost always done 25 1/2, but that's not a hard and fast rule because their Jaguar is different. It's 24 or 24 and something. I've forgotten exactly what it is. But then they've got the Music Master and the Music Master 2, which has 2 different scales. The Mustang.
What's the Tele?
Tele is 25 and a half.
Well, it's a pretty long neck.
Well, it's 3/4 of an inch longer than a Gibson.
Yeah.
I mean,
so why the difference in the lengths?
well, one of the things that I discovered, and this is not any great Shakes discovery. I mean, it's been around for a while. The guys who designed the Brooklyn Bridge were probably the first people to come up with this idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So bridge building
Yeah.
to guitar neck. All
Well,
right, great.
suspension bridge building.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Okay.
even better.
So the trick here is that the length, which in our case would be scale length, the pitch, the tension or pounds per square inch on any given string,
Mm-hmm.
and then the last one always evades me. It takes a minute for me to length, pitch, tension, and diameter. The diameter of the wire.
Okay.
Those in the guitar, they're kind of like pitch is something that we tend to standardize.
Okay.
So we pick a pitch that we're going to use. Even if you're doing alternate tunings, you have a pitch that you're going to tune to. Okay?
Right, yeah.
A specific
Okay.
set of frequencies.
Yes, makes
so that tends to be one of the more anchored measurements.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The scale length is the other one, unless of course you're building a guitar and you're starting from scratch. So anytime you change any of those other ones, like the length or the diameter of the wire,
Yeah.
you actually alter quite a bit on that whole instrument.
Right.
Okay? It's one of the reasons why you see guys here take a Fender and they want to tune it down to say C or drop C or C standard,
Yeah.
or even B. B to B is actually standard baritone scale or baritone tuning, but you kind of want that at least 26 1/8 up to about 27 inches for a baritone in order for the string to not feel too floppy. Because what happens is when you shorten a scale or lengthen a scale, you change that pounds per square inch, that tension.
Yeah.
And if you change it to the wrong way, you can get a real rubber bandish feeling guitar, or you can get a guitar that's really stiff, almost plays like an acoustic in some cases.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why it's so important to tailor the tuning that you want to use to buy the right guitar with a good scale length that you want.
Right.
Okay. Plus, get the right diameter of strings and get it to the pitch that you're shooting for.
So Chris could be looking at this. He might be in an alternate tuning, and it's just this different length feels.
It'll
better
change
to
his
him.
guitar dramatically.
Yeah, it changes the way his guitar feels dramatically. And if he's done that, then he doesn't like the Gibson anymore. He likes moving towards the Fender, or whichever way he was going.
Possibly.
Right?
I mean, it really does.
It can be.
It's very personal preference. Now,
Right.
I've always told people to come in my shop, if you've got a Fender, which is 25 1/2 inch scale,
Sure.
then 9-gauge strings will feel great.
Yeah.
Most people are pretty happy. That's a slinky feel, and you can do just about anything you want to. Some players will prefer 10s. Some players will prefer 11s. A lot of the 11s players are not going to be doing much lead, although I've met a few. They may even be playing slide, or they may just be playing rhythm. But I've seen plenty of lead players who like to use either a 10 or a hybrid 9, which has a 10 on the low 3 strings and a 9 on the upper 3 strings.
Okay.
So you kind of best of both worlds there.
Sure.
Believe it or not, I'm a Gibson scale guy.
You
I
like
prefer a
Gibson
24
scale.
3/4.
You like the Gibson scale.
And I like a 10 to a 52, which is like a hybrid 10 set.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I have a tendency to smack the low string real hard, which makes it boing out. Doesn't sound very good.
I do the same thing.
So
I like the 10 to 52.
So the 10 to 52 kind of helps with that.
Yeah.
Again, that's a trick of diameter in this
Yeah.
case against the scale that you're using.
But I'm playing mine on a Fender, but I still like the 10 to 52 because I do the same thing.
There you go. I mean, going to that longer scale is going to give you a tighter feeling string.
Yeah.
Now, what's funny is the string is not anchored here. It's
No.
anchored here.
Right.
And there are guitars that have a little bit of space between the bridge and tailpiece, and
Sure.
some that have a lot.
Sure.
some that have string through the back, or some that have a long or large headstock with a lot of extra string beyond the nut.
A Tele comes from the back.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things that we discovered when I was developing the Warriors,
What you got here?
was we discovered that this little amount of space between the bridge and the end of the guitar, the end of the instrument, would actually change the because you're varying the length, not scale length, but the length of the actual string, and that would change the pounds per square inch on the total string at that particular pitch.
Oh, okay.
Well, that became useful because 5-string basses were at the time with a 34-inch standard scale can get to be pretty floppy. The low B can be really rattly and not easy to get it a nice action on it without buzzing. Okay. By increasing that by that extra couple of inches, you end up with what feels like a 35 or 36-inch scale, okay, feel-wise, but not actual-wise.
By moving just the distance between the saddle and the end
there was a little bit of trick there.
Okay.
Many guitars or basses, they will use their string through will go through the back. Well, the problem with that is when the string comes through the back of the guitar and then it has to go over the top edge,
over the saddle,
and then it has to go
right
over
angle
the saddle,
almost,
right? So you end up with two 45-degree angles.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's possible, and I've actually seen this. I've actually seen the ball end of the string come off the string, and the string still be in tune and play a whole set. Yeah.
Wow.
It's because this amount of string that's stuck in the body will actually lever it. It'll act like a lever,
leverage itself,
and it gets caught, and it can't move.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to pull on it a little bit, it'd pop right out.
Yeah, pop it right out.
But I've actually seen that happen, and it dawned on me. It's like, well, why don't we try to take that, and instead of having that double 45 and a right angle, let's take this and bring it out this way. So we raised that or decreased that angle from 90 to 23 degrees, and that let us get this string to go into the saddle and then go down and come out the end of the guitar.
That is very
and
cool.
what that
I'll
did,
I'll get a picture of this.
It allowed that string to pass all of the tension to the actual end of the guitar.
Wow,
And
that is cool. Are any of these pictures your hands?
They are, and my brother-in-law.
Is that right?
Yeah, we were.
Let me ask you this: can I just put any old scale length neck on a guitar body?
No. That's something you can't do, and the reason why that is,
yes, sir,
is because the body and the neck.
I can't if I want to get smacked by Bruce.
well, here's
tell me
here's a great example.
There's
a fellow brought this guitar in a few weeks ago, and he was wanting me to set it up. And the first thing I discovered was, okay, so we got a Fender type body that was obviously made for a Strat type body. It was made for a 21 fret neck. This is a 22 fret neck.
Let me count these. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
Well, you can always tell because 21 is at the dot. And then
don't have to
if there's an next one past the dot.
One. There it is.
That one extra fret makes a difference. Now, this is a 25.5-inch scale. This body was built for 25.5-inch scale, but a 21 fret. So
all right, no. Okay. How?
So we've got this much fret too much.
Okay, so we're there. There's one too many frets.
Yeah.
And you got that much too much.
Yeah.
How do you know that was built for a 21 and not a 22?
Well, if you're building guitars, you're going to know this measurement between the neck pocket and the front of the bridge it's a very specific measurement.
For the scale.
For that particular guitar design. It's not the scale as much as it is the design of the instrument. Because the truth is, like I said, you can play with this scale in any way, shape, or form that you wish.
Yeah.
But you can't deviate from the measurement in the way you lay it out. In this case, you've got, what, a 1/2 inch too much neck.
Yeah.
I could theoretically cut this off.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Put this on here and make it work.
Sure.
But somebody else put this together and was really stunned at the fact that this guitar would not play in tune no matter what he did to it.
Is that why they brought it in?
Mm-hmm. Now, we ended up trading the thing in and giving him a better guitar that actually played well.
Yeah, I mean, because he probably, hey, it doesn't tune well. You were like, yeah, probably neck's wrong.
Yeah, well,
Or
I mean, it
whatever.
didn't take.
Doesn't
it didn't
match.
Yeah, it didn't take.
Neck and,
It just took a couple of minutes and a measuring tape to figure out what was wrong. You know.
That's unbelievable. That's
another thing that you can mention about scales is the new trend towards multi-scale instruments, or the fanned fret instruments. What they're doing there is they're actually playing with having two different
let's
scales.
talk about those, because we don't have. Do we have any pictures of those?
I don't have any here. They're kind of unusual. They're rather rare. And almost all of them are custom made at this point. That's not something the factories are wanting to fool with, because it's rather difficult to do. So you don't see them on anything much less than a couple grand.
Yeah, yeah.
But it is an interesting idea. A fellow named Fred Novak invented that idea back in the 80s.
So what is?
The idea is that you can have your high strings at one scale and your low strings at another scale. On basses, this is a big deal because of what we talked about earlier with the floppy low B.
Yeah.
Okay? Sheldon Dingwall was one of the first guys to bring out a multi-fanned or a multi-scale fanned fret system, which he was one of the few guys that I knew of that was paying royalties to Fred Novak, which kudos to him for doing so.
There you go. Yeah, doing the right thing.
But he was one of the first custom bass builders that I knew of who was building a multi-scale neck. And
I'm trying to visualize this. I'll look it up. I'll find a picture.
The frets will start leaning this way. Okay, they'll lean that way, and then as you come down, they will switch and start leaning this way.
So it's almost like the rays of a sunrise.
Like a fan, like a very wide
across the
like
neck.
a Japanese fan.
Right. Okay, across the neck.
Across the
neck. Like incredibly noticeable, or you?
Oh yeah,
really?
Really noticeable. Like this, like the last fret and the first fret will be like that.
No kidding.
Yeah,
on a straight neck.
Yeah. Now,
that's bizarre.
What's funny is that in the 70s, and they're kind of rare, Rickenbacker made some slanted frets, where they made guitars that were slanted
the whole way,
but the
same angle the whole way.
The scale is the same. Yeah.
Now, what is the?
I don't think there was an advantage. I think what they were trying to do was take into account that the ergonomics of the hand might be able to work with this fret being this way or that way better than dealing with straight.
So how did they deal with that? Was the nut also at that angle and everything? Okay.
Yes.
So
and the bridge.
Gotcha. So everything was
slanted.
It was the same as being straight, but it was just changing ergonomically. Yeah. It was a better feel. It was an easier feel. It made it more comfortable.
Well, as you know, when you reach out, your hand changes, and then when you reach this way, your hand changes. There's a.
Okay.
If you think about it, there's an obvious arc going on here between your elbow.
Oh yeah,
and your
absolutely.
hand.
I agree.
The fan fret system, and I think this is probably where Novak came up with this idea. I think the fan fret system actually does address that.
It sounds like it absolutely does, and at least the one that's angled like the Rickenbacker solution, that completely makes sense to me. The other one, I suppose, it does as well. It's hard for me to visualize how it does. But once you said that the bridge and the nut are also angled, now it makes sense to me, because I'm thinking if these are straight and these are this way, that high E. Support your local luthier.
That's right.
Right there you go. There's a movie for you. Anyways, hey, another great episode, brother.
Yeah,
I think we dug into it pretty good. I think we add Chris's question. Hopefully, I
hope so. If he has anything specific he wants to know,
put a comments in there, dude. If we answered it correctly, please like it and subscribe and comment, Chris. And if you got anything else you want us to go through, we'll certainly do it. We'll hit somebody else's next time as we get those in there, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's it. Hey. Reach me. Well, where are they reaching you at, man? From
Hot Rod's Guitar Shop, either through Facebook, Hot Rod's Guitar Hickson, or they can just call me at the phone number on the screen. Yeah. The website's still under BennettMusicLab.com? For now it is. For now it is. Okay, so BennettMusicLab.com, and hit reverb on that hammer, dude. It's action's amazing. It's beautiful. And that Warrior over there actually is pretty darn nice. Yeah, somebody needs this. This is really cool. It's the very last Warrior I ever made. I know it. That's a Bruce Bennett, the last one that he made, and it's absolutely perfect. So yeah, hit him up and check us out on
what is it? The Sustainiacs@gmail.com. You can
Right.
you can check us out. You can get us there, and also as Ocean 7 at Ocean 7 Music on the Twitter. Right. I put a lot of our stuff out there, and Ocean 7 Music is the picks and capos and so on that I'm.
How's that
doing.
coming?
It's going great, man. I went and I did a test. I went over to Guitar Center today. See who was there? It was a bunch of people there. I met a guy who played for David Allan Coe back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And Willie Nelson, played with him for a while. Loved the picks. I had about 10 different people trying the picks and using them.
Cool.
I got better comments than I thought. That
Good.
guy's that professional player from Nashville, what happened to be there, said, 40 years, dude, this is the pick for me.